All right, it is Fox Weather at Night. I'm Ari, that's Chris, and this is Eric Snodgrass. He's the lead meteorologist over at Nutrien Ag. I think he used to work at the University of Illinois, right? The AOS department there?
That's right. 15 years teaching in that department. 25,000 students. I had a blast. I miss it sometimes,
Oh,
but it
that's
was a
so
lot.
cool. I love it. We got another Big Ten guy. I was Wisconsin, '07 was my graduating year. We had the Lightning guy on last night from Wisconsin. That was cool. All right, so we're going to have you as a panelist for this block here. Let's start, because I did tease this, the area to watch down in the Gulf. It's still at 10%. We had a recent update that came out from the Hurricane Center. This is the third storm in a row that's really trying to become Dexter. I feel like usually when the Hurricane Center puts out these areas to watch, we'll gradually see the percentage come up. But, man, this one, what do you think the chances are?
It's pretty darn close to shore, so there's not much time left for it to really, get going. But, what's been crazy is we've not had trouble accessing any of this Gulf instability or the Gulf moisture. So what I'm mostly worried about with it is local flash flooding. But look at the storms you got right there in Satellite. Those suckers are juiced, and they're going to be able to put down a lot of rain.
Yeah, they are. And, the other thing I always look at when I'm looking at these maps, I love the visible satellite. Obviously, this is a loop from a little bit earlier, but I'm always looking at these low-level clouds. Yesterday, I could barely see anything. I know we've got a lot of wind shear that's in the eastern Gulf here, and it was really shredding this thing apart. Now, when I look at the low-level clouds, and it takes a trained eye sometimes, but I can see some southeasterlies here. I can see maybe some northwesterlies out here. I mean, you mentioned it is close to land. Sometimes you get a couple different circulations that try to develop. I feel like we saw that with 93L, but it was running out of real estate. The water's warm up there. If we can get some thunderstorms to wrap around the center. Again, I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think the chances are zero. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think that there's still some threat with it, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, I think the thing to concentrate on with this, I don't want people to get too obsessed with whether it becomes a brief little Dexter or a brief tropical depression, just the fact that it's been dumping so much rain. Actually, some of this rain is going to get into parts of Texas by the time we get to, a couple of days from now. Okay, let's talk about how ridiculously wet it's been across the country this year. We've touched on this a little bit over the last week or so, just the idea that I feel like the amount of moisture that's been in the atmosphere has not only been tapped into, it's also just been way above average. I'm talking about the precipitable water, just the amount of water in the column of air. Why do you think that is? What's been going on here? It's been the summer of floods.
Yeah, I've never seen such a strong Bermuda high in my entire professional career forecasting. I mean, it's just expansive. It covers from the Azores all the way over to Bermuda. It's pushed all the way into the Gulf. It's opened the Gulf up routinely. And so every single day we're sourcing sourcing moisture in the atmosphere out of expansive hot water. And it's just been ready to make storms. And so it's like every day I wake up and where was the flash flood, last night? And that Bermuda high, until it leaves, until it moves, we're going to continue to see just wide open moisture. Then don't forget, we're adding a whole lot to this with the crops that are grown in the midsection of the country with their evaporative properties. And so you compare it, like you said, to average, boy, we have just been juiced. And with that's come instability, which is a lot of severe weather. And the flash flooding is setting new records. So
yeah,
that's summer.
Yeah, it really is. And of course, we had another above average severe weather season. Almost every month so far has been above average. And, you look at this, you got a couple different sources here, right? I mean, you talked about the Bermuda high. I think that's responsible for a lot of and this is basically how far above or below average the PWATs have been, the precipitable water. Shout out to Shane Brown, I think, who put together this graphic, one of our Mets behind the scenes. Took a lot of research. But then you also had a lot of moisture coming in, I feel like in early July especially. I guess June also, when the East Pacific was pretty active, and that played into, obviously, a lot of heavy rain down in parts of Mexico and the southern U.S. Now, the Western Gulf also played into the horrific flooding tragedy that we had in Texas. But it's kind of two different sources here, right?
It really is. And, one thing to think about, preseason, Mexico, that whole region you just showed, Mexico, was deep in drought. There were wildfires. We were wondering if we were going to be able to break that or if that drought was going to spread. And every time we stopped and thought we knew what was going to happen with the atmosphere for this summer, Mother Nature just changed her mind and all of a sudden sent moisture to those places.
Yeah, no, you make a good point. All right, let's talk about the Atlantic. What's to come here everybody always wants to know this, the long-range forecast in the Atlantic. Let's just go mid-range here. I don't feel like we need to go too long-range. So we've got this little weak tropical wave that probably won't be too big of a deal that's coming up over the next few days. And I'm talking about the main development region here. This is the time of year where we start to see this area, which is called the main development region. We'll sometimes call it the MDR, starts to get a little bit more active. It's not like we've never had a storm out here in July or June. Beryl last year, big anomaly though. But there is an interesting thing that just popped up on the forecast models today, which is starting to show some kind of wave coming off of the west coast of Africa. Now, this model that we've got on this graphic, it only goes out through July 30th, but it's got some kind of action really starting to pop up, and a lot of the ensemble models are really kind of jazzed that there is going to be some kind of area of low pressure. Can you really trust these forecasts this far out, or is it just nonsense?
Yeah, especially at the beginning of the season, we tend to get pretty skeptical of these things, and you could argue we're still very much at the beginning of it. The thing is that starting about 2 weeks ago, we were thinking at the end of the month of July, the lid was going to come off the tropics, right? We were going to move the MGO around. Atmosphere's going to breathe a little bit better. We were going to stop seeing the Atlantic and the MDR having such stable conditions. Maybe some of the Sahara dust was going to back off, and then you're going to get these little easterly waves that show up and they get going. And then we know that as we go through August into September, then we really expect that area to crank up. So yeah, there's a little bit of an idea that something's out there, and models are going to try to pick up on it early. And it's good that they can even see that, right? That's an amazing tool that we all have in our toolbox here to use. But I'm always going to be skeptical at anything beyond 7, 8, 9 days in these models.
Yeah, hey, can you show that tweet real quick, Chris? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm going to get so much hate from meteorologists for showing this, but I got to do it. I love this tweet from Garrett Bastardi. Now,
Sure.
Again, it's a weather weenie kind of thing. He's not being serious with this tweet like he thinks there's going to be a hurricane hitting Florida on, what would that be, August 8th? But it's just something to keep in mind because this is the European AI model, and this is like the big thing to talk about now. We've got the AI models versus the conventional models that we've had for a while. So just kind of file it up in your head, just in case we have a hurricane hitting Florida on August 8th. We can say, wow, the AI model picked up on it. Don't get worried, though, right?
Yeah, I think that is the best advice. I love that AI model. I think it's an extra piece of information. But, just remember that was a 342-hour forecast. So that's putting us at, 15 days, out there, and we got to be cautious.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's talk sea surface temperatures real quick here. So I was going to talk about the MJO. Maybe we'll get to that if we have more time. I think the sea surface temperatures are a little bit easier to understand. So when I look at this map, I see something very different than what I saw last year. Last year, like the entire Atlantic basin was way above average. Now, I think with that recency bias, sometimes we can look at a map like this and say, okay, so the water is really not all that warm, but it actually still is mostly above average, I would say. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, and it just has to be above about 81, and you can get hurricanes out of that, no problem. So there's plenty of heat in that ocean to support any sort of tropical development. And I think the big factors are: is it going to destabilize? Are we going to get rid of some of that wind shear? And is the big Saharan dust plume going to back off? Because you got enough, heat and energy in that water to crank a system out. So yeah, it's not as dire of a prediction as a year ago, but we still have to think this through. And that Saharan dust, that's a lot for those systems to chew on and try to survive through. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, and I think this is going to play into why that first wave that's coming off right now is probably not going to do too well. It gets a lot of dry air that gets sucked into it. But again, keep in mind, this is like the current amount of dust that's coming off of the west coast of Africa. And I believe models do factor that in. So the one that would start sometime late July and possibly make some kind of trek across the MDR likely wouldn't be quite as much dust around there at that time. I think it's just so interesting also, and I feel terrible saying this as a meteorologist, but it was something I recently learned, that wind shear, we always think about it as a thing that tears apart storms, which is true, but it also can kind of cool off the water temperatures a little bit, right?
Yeah, and then any would-be tropical system, what you do is you're spreading out the heat from the deep convection. So hurricanes love environments with no wind shear. They want to form in environments where there almost is none. So like the atmosphere is still, except for the hurricane, which is inside of it. You crank up the wind shear, you displace the vortex, you start to spread that heating out. you destroy what we call the Carnot cycle of that hurricane, and all of a sudden it loses its potential. And so, yeah, that shear across the Caribbean has been incredible. But by the way, just to tie things together, it's been the winds in the Caribbean that have come into the Bay of Campeche, that go through the Gulf, that have also gotten us going with all this flooding. So it's all one big connected system. And I love the fact that you're linking all these things together.
No, you make a great point. I mean, you're helping me link them together in my head. One more thing real quick before we let you go. How valid do you think this still is? This idea of yet another setup. This would be the third one. Some models are still hinting by late July or first week of August, some kind of leftover front that might get off the southeast coast into the Gulf again. Some kind of area of low pressure could develop along it. A little bit on the long range side of forecasting, but I'm sure you've probably looked at this over the last few days. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the decaying cold fronts are often an excellent trigger for tropical convection, and they can spin up what we call homegrown hurricanes. And they can, as you just saw, I mean, we have the potential for them to rapidly develop. And so I'm going to give it credit until there's overwhelming evidence that it's not going to show up. So every morning it's like another look. So I think we're going to have to keep an eye on this.
Yeah, I just think it's so fascinating that we've had two in a row. Now, 93L that we had last week, it was a little easier to believe because it was really just raking the coast here. I mean, it was almost overland by the time it made it into the Gulf. You could argue it really didn't make it too much into the Gulf. This one has more water to work with, I feel like, where that center of circulation is. And just to see that there's a spin out there this time of year, this is one of the spots where the water is the most above average temperature-wise. I guess it's the shear. Yeah, kind of an interesting situation there. But Eric Snodgrass, this has been great having you along with us here. Do come back again, if that's cool. Hopefully we didn't scare you away.
No, this is a lot of fun. Anytime.
What a guy. Nutrien Ag. He's the lead meteorologist over there. Eric Snodgrass, friend of the show. Friend of the show now. Wonderful. That was fantastic stuff.